Ciao everyone, welcome back to my channel, and I'm finally recording the Q&A that I promised I would do for the 1-year anniversary of this YouTube channel. And for this there will be a little surprise somewhere in the video, so stay tuned and keep watching. What's there to say? I selected 10 of the wonderful questions that you have been sending me through Instagram stories and through the YouTube posts that I made. They're amazing. I tried to give an order to them, and there are some Italian questions which I'll be replying in Italian at the end of the video. So maybe you can put the subtitle option for that, which works quite well on YouTube. Let's start. First question. As of when shall a kid start ballet to be at your levels? So first of all, there is not one right answer. And this is because every dancer, every experience, every situation is different. I would say that the sweet point, a sweet age would be between 5 and maybe 10 years old, 11, but you can also start later if you have a very good teacher and a body that allows you to still be flexible later on in time. I know an amazing professional dancer from Semperoper that he started when he was 17. And I don't know how this is possible. But when you're 10, 11 years old, if you want to become a professional dancer, you can join a professional school like La Scala, Royal Ballet School, Paris Opera. And before joining, you don't necessarily have to know everything. They are supposed to teach you. So for example, when I auditioned, I had an idea about arm movements and about stretching my feet, but I never did a bar before going to La Scala. And the first part of the exam, because there are 3 parts, was basically just checking your capabilities, your physicality, if you could jump, if you could lift your leg, if you could point your feet. And then later on there were other assessments before you joined the academy. Another thing that I want to add is that the most fearless dancers that I've known are the ones that did rhythm gymnastics before. And they are the ones that can turn a lot, that are really flexible. But I also noticed that they tend to get injuries sometimes in their back or in their hips sooner in their career. And I don't know if that's related or if that's just a coincidence. So to wrap it up, kids should start ballet as a game first, and I think they should really have fun. And then maybe just before joining an academy, they can start learning more about ballet terminology and kind of the hard and more strict side of ballet. What is one thing you would change about ballet? Boom. So obviously there is not just one thing I would change, but I'll just start mentioning 2 things. One would be making ballet more affordable, because sometimes I look at ticket prices and I'm just shocked. I think it should be accessible to everyone that wants to enjoy a performance. And I think students and younger people that have less budget should be welcomed to enjoy our art form, and it could be ballet or it could be opera. I think people should build a culture around it, so should be able to go to the theater more than once per year. Second thing that I would change is that I would pair to each artistic director an administrative director, and maybe in the USA it's more common, but in Europe usually have a general director of the opera, which is not what I mean. I think every ballet company should have the artistic director that takes care of the artistic choices and the artistic vision, and then an administrative director that takes care of the functioning. Because after all, yes, we are an art form, well, we are a business, and there are so many things that could run more smoothly just by having that figure in a company. You know, we're a company of around 80, 90, 100 people, so there is a lot to manage. So I think there should be that position all the time. What is your favorite femme fatale ballet protagonist? Well, I was debating and I couldn't choose between Carmen, which is free-spirited, and I have a vlog on Carmen which I talk a little bit about her, and she's very sensual and like very far ahead for her time. Or I was doing some research about what other femme fatale ballet protagonists could be, and I find super fascinating also Mata Hari. Dutch National Ballet made a ballet which I never watched, but I read the story and I think she was super courageous and also a rule breaker for her time. So Carmen or Mata Hari, that's my choice. Fourth question. This is also a very good one. What are best and worst parts about being a ballet dancer, and what was your career highlight? And I love that these questions are together because I think they are linked. Best parts of being a ballet dancer, I think, is that if your body is healthy, if you feel good, if you don't have pains and injuries, then apart from all the hard work and apart from all the aspects that sometimes you have to work on weekends and sometimes you're really tired, apart from that, when you feel good physically, then it's such a joy to dance. It's very enjoyable. You can really have a lot of fun on stage after the hard work. Most of the time can be really freeing and you're always working towards something, so it's never boring. And on top of that, you get to wear beautiful costumes and you get to dive yourself into stories and kind of be an actor at the same time. And that I enjoy doing that very much, of course. The worst part about being a ballet dancer, which I'm sure it touches many other disciplines and many other sectors of life, is that there is not a direct relation between the effort that you put and the success that you get. Of course, working hard and working smart will lead you somewhere, will make you grow, and it will give you achievements. But I feel, and I've been talking also to many of my colleagues in the past also, and it's a topic that is felt very often, that sometimes there is not this match between the expectations that you have and the result that you get. And there is a teacher of mine that once told me that, and I think there is a little bit of truth to that, is that dancers control 10-15% of their ballet career, because the rest, it's out of their hands. There are so many things that they can't control, which can be timing, it can be repertoire, it can be injuries, it can be contacts, so network, knowing someone that has seen you there and then makes you join a company. And to this theme, I want to connect what was my career highlight. For me, an highlight is always to dance David Dawson's pieces. I've been dancing them since the Royal Ballet School days, in Semperoper many times, and even in Stuttgart last season that we did the creation, and I have a vlog on that as well. If I have to be honest, I was lucky to get to dance his pieces. And why? Well, basically, he first noticed me once on stage while I was replacing a colleague of mine. And since that moment, he kind of always had me in mind for his castings and his creation. So I think I was very lucky to dance that show. And of course, I had to prove myself, because when he put me in the creation of 4 seasons, I had to prove myself. But at least I had a chance, and that doesn't happen all the time. And this is why I think a dancer's career sometimes is not completely fully in their hands. Question number 5. What's your favorite leotard at the moment? And I prepared it here. I think at the moment my favorite leotard is this Grishko leotard. It's very simple and neat and elegant. And the other question is your favorite Yumiko style and colors. So colors, I think it would be the Tea Zenith, which is so beautiful. Look at this green, it's amazing. I hope they never take it down from their color list. And at the moment, favorite model, I think it's the Laura. I'm gonna show it to you later, maybe wear it or someday, and then put a clip. But this is a unitard. It doesn't necessarily have to be a unitard, but I really like the Laura. Oh, like a lifetime favorite, it's a Sofiane. Super elegant, very open back, and very simple. Yeah, so this is done. Let's keep moving. Sorry for the interruption. We are soon going back to the questions, but I wanted to share with you that to celebrate 1 year anniversary of this YouTube channel, I decided to plant a tree. And the meaning behind this is because I wanted to give something back to all of you, back to the world. and I'm sharing it here because I want to inspire someone that is in the position of doing something like this. Even the smallest action, like I did, I feel can have a huge impact. So I did a little research for you guys, and in the description of the video I put a list of links where you could check out and maybe get inspired. And it could go from cleaning up the ocean to planting a tree to sharing a meal or helping a community. Whatever you feel like it, just check it out, have a thought on that, and this could be a gift to yourself and to all of us. That's it. Let's go back to the questions. So, how do you like your new company? Well, I think now it's my 9th month with Teatro La Scala, and I enjoy it very much. I'm very happy to be here. It's nice to be in Milan. I'm close to my family. But I have to admit that at first I was super stressed to join. Even though I have so much experience from before and I already changed one company, so I already had the feeling of being a newbie, I was even more stressed to join La Scala because I got offered a life contract immediately, and this is something that doesn't happen very often because usually you have to go through a phase of like guesting or apprenticeship, you can call it whatever you want, before you get the life contract. For me, again, leading up to what I was saying before about being lucky, for me was a very good timing. I think they were looking for someone experienced and somehow the audition went well, so I got to join immediately, straight away, with a full contract. So I feel very lucky for that, but I felt that weight that I really had to prove myself to my colleagues. So that was the most thing I was scared, and by now I've danced many pieces with the company. I think everyone got to see that I'm professional, and it's also super nice to reconnect with some of my old friends from school. Next question. Have you ever struggled with OCD or ED, eating disorders? So luckily, I think my body type, I'm quite elongated and tall, allowed me to have an healthy relationship with food. Of course, I always tend to make healthy choices when I eat, when I nourish myself, just to have a healthy and strong body for training. And actually I have a nutrition talk on that with Irene. She was a dancer and now she's a nutritionist, and if you're interested, you could listen to the interview. She says many interesting things connected to nutrition and dance. But this is a huge topic. Now schools are moving forward and they're opening up and they're trying to be more sensitive and careful with teenagers, but I know many colleagues that have been scarred for life because their teacher made them think that their body was wrong and was not good for dance. But actually, when you're in school, you think that there's just one body type for dance, but then when you actually become a professional and you get in touch with people from USA, from other parts of Europe, from Asia, you realize that there are many body types. You just have to find your place where they appreciate you for who you are. So now I'm going to the Italian questions, so make sure you put the subtitles on. So I have to switch language, so my brain has to switch. Allora, quali sono le differenze maggiori che hai riscontrato tra il lavoro all'estero e in Italia? Mamma mia! Allora, questa domanda richiederebbe un video a parte, però ho deciso di parlare principalmente di due temi. Qui a Milano c'è il contratto a vita, cosa che all'estero è quasi impossibile da avere, è un lusso rarissimo per la nostra professione e per noi ballerini, quindi questa è una cosa bella. Anche se all'interno della compagnia crea un po' un ristagno a un certo punto, perché noi in teoria potremmo lavorare fino ai 47 anni, però in realtà ai 47 anni si riesce a fare poco, quindi secondo me l'età pensionabile dovrebbe abbassarsi ai 42, come in Francia, perché fino ai 42 riesci a ballare anche bene, anche fino ai 43, 44, ma dovrebbe esserci un'opzione per decidere, vado in pensione ai 47 o magari interrompo il mio contratto ai 42 e poi dai 47 inizio a prendere la pensione. Un altro tema che ho riscontrato che è molto diverso dall'estero è il tema delle promozioni. Qua a Milano, ma penso anche all'Opera di Roma e negli altri teatri, quindi a Napoli immagino, tu per essere promosso devi partecipare, devi fare un concorso pubblico. E per entrare nel corpo di ballo lo capisco, perché diciamo è il primo step, quindi devi fare una cosa un po' più ufficiale, ma secondo me una volta che entri nel corpo di ballo e comunque inizi a ballare con la compagnia e quindi lo staff, il direttore ti conosce, io trovo assurdo, soprattutto per diventare prima ballerina, che tu debba presentarti con una pettorina, con il numero, fare lezione come se non ti conoscessero e poi fare una variazione, come se fosse la prima volta che ti vedono. E poi, se vinci il concorso, sei promossa. Un sistema strano, ero abituata a lavorare in posti dove se te lo meritavi alla fine della stagione che avevi ballato dei ruoli, venivi promossa. Però non c'era tutta questa cosa ufficiale dell'audizione del concorso con la giuria, quindi questo lo trovo molto strano, non so se cambierà mai, però vabbè. Ogni posto fa sé e bisogna adattarsi. Allora, altra domanda in italiano: cosa ti ha fatto avvicinare e poi innamorare della danza? Se tornassi indietro faresti la stessa scelta? Allora, io mi sono avvicinata alla danza insistendo con mia mamma non voleva iscrivermi a danza, lei mi ha fatto fare altri sport prima, ma non arrivo da una famiglia vicina al mondo dell'arte e della danza, e quindi era un po' titubante. Ci ho provato, ma io ho insistito e se non sbaglio dopo un anno ho deciso finalmente di iscrivermi, e io non so da dove ho trovato questo amore per la danza e questa idea che io volessi diventare una ballerina. Penso sia stato da probabilmente qualcosa che ho visto in TV e dalla gioia che provavo proprio a ballare con la musica. E quindi l'idea di poterlo fare per lavoro e di poter indossare anche questi bellissimi costumi, e questo è quello che mi ha fatto avvicinare alla danza. Se tornassi indietro lo faresti di nuovo? Penso di sì, anche se a volte mi piace daydream, cioè mi piace sognare su cosa avrei potuto studiare o cosa sarei potuta diventare, a parte una ballerina professionista. Anche se mai dire mai, perché magari un giorno cambio idea, inizio a studiare e inizio a fare un altro lavoro. Quindi probabilmente lo rifarei, perché comunque il mio percorso mi ha dato tanto, mi ha fatto crescere tanto e mi ha fatto diventare la persona che sono, e ho più ricordi belli che brutti, quindi perché no? Con questo mi sa che abbiamo finito. Io vi voglio ringraziare. Thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate your support. I might do this again in the future. If you have questions to address to a professional ballet dancer, well, you can drop them in the comments, and maybe in the future I'll do another Q&A, who knows. I go with the flow, so for now that's all. Ciao ciao, enjoy your day, and see you in the next video.